Who's that?
Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump. Good evening, folks, here at Phelps Field. It's the number 2 Westside Warriors up against the Omaha North Vikings. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me this evening is Jernstrom. It's a beautiful night for football here in September.
It's great to just be back here at Phelps Stadium and just to see fans here to watch a football game. No restrictions. All the fans can come out and watch this matchup between Westside and Omaha North and see if the Warriors can get their second win of the season against the Vikings.
This will be a wonderful game on both sides. Omaha North really trying to bounce back after a harsh loss up against Lincoln Southeast. But let's go into this KB pregame show to start it off with to talk about this Westside team. Overall, they start off this past year, the defending state champions. They took down Elkhorn South in that state championship this past year here at Phelps Field. It was the first time that it had ever happened here at Phelps Field. The only other time they had played here is a loss back in 1981. But what an amazing journey for this team last year.
Last year, they just were loaded with talent. 4 Division I players. Kobe Bretz, who's now at Nebraska. Cade Haberman, who's now at Northern Illinois. Of course, the player of the year, Cole Payton. The quarterback is now at North Dakota State. And another Division I player, Avante Dickerson, one of the top-rated players in the state of Nebraska. He is now at Oregon. And it was just a really special group of seniors last year who led Westside to the state championship, their first one since 1982. It's been a long time, and this team tonight, they're going to try to defend that title as they open up the 2021 home season right here at Westside.
And we talk so much about those 4 seniors, but there's a lot of those role-playing guys that weren't talked about as much. When you talk about Will Hurtado, a guy that played both sides of the line. He's going to Benedictine College. He's going to make an impact there early. And another guy to really talk about, Ben Radisha. I have no clue how this guy did not have a Division I offer. One of the most underrated linebackers in the state of Nebraska last year. And this is how I like to describe his mentality best. A little crazy, but it's good to have a little crazy with him. It was just a guy that wanted to hit, that loved to hit. And then another guy right there also going to Iowa Western, TJ Ingram, another small piece of this team that not a lot of people thought about, but a really big pressure as well. So looking at this team this year, a lot of returners, but not as many as you would like to see. So the returners this year are going to start off, of course, you're going to see Dominic Rizak, a guy who rushed for over 2,000 yards last year, is going to look to do just the same this year. Wide receiver Grant Guyette, someone to 3 or 4 last year is going to be a big one to see this year. Jack Wimmer has a couple offers going so far, but is trying to build his resume, especially this year, on both the offensive and defensive side of the balls. A big thing to talk about how this offensive and defensive lines are going to stack up. Jack James, Cole Haberman, guys who are used to this pressure and are able to do this again once this year.
Well, Cade Haberman was such a big anchor of that defensive and offensive line last year. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up there in the trenches for Westside this season, to see who is going to be that person that becomes the focus and the center of that line.
Another thing to talk about, although not starting last year, did good amount of time last year, senior quarterback Colby Brown. One of the biggest keys to this team overall this season is how he can do. It's a lot to ask of a guy coming after a guy like Cole Payton, but how can Colby fill into the best position possible?
Yeah, his father, Chris Brown, is well known as the place kicker at the University of Nebraska, the record-setting kicker. But his father also played quarterback, and I'm sure he's relayed some of that information when he was a quarterback to Colby. And Colby had a good game against Creighton Prep last week. I'll tell you what, he really showed his display of accuracy there in the second half against the Junior Jays, did a really good job.
And I think the biggest thing for him is really how can his offensive line really help him out. Colby, again, not as quick, not as decisive as Cole Payton was last year. He likes his time in the pocket. He likes his time to be able to set his feet and get a good throw. So the offensive line is going to be a big thing to look at as well. And looking at that overall, I mean, this is a big question going into 2021 was really how this offensive line can work. They're only returning one offensive lineman in Jack James. They only have two seniors in Jack James and Jackson Yeager, and they have a lot of guys, two sophomores as well as one junior, that have all not had a single start coming into the season.
Yeah, I think that was a big question mark when we talked to Coach Freund before the season started, you know, how the people in the line would step up this season. And so far against Creighton Prep, they did a really good job. And I think, you know, that's one of the things that you develop during a high school season is you find out who the guys up front are going to help you out and who steps up and who doesn't. And, they've got an all-state running back, and they got somebody running the ball that can really help them.
Yeah, and overall, another thing to look at for this team is how their secondary and that linebacking core can really help out. How those linebackers really set up for the Warriors. It's almost always, you rarely ever see anything other than a 4 linebacker set for the Warriors. Freund loves to bring that pressure and have that set up to allow his linebackers to be elusive, to be kind of hiding in there and then able to get a big hit when necessary. So the defense was a thing to talk about. The defense was could they really stand up against some of the top teams in the state? Last week they proved that, going up against Creighton Prep, a 23-8 win, and that defense was spectacular all night.
Yeah, Teddy Rizak really stepped up after they took the lead on a touchdown. They came back. Creighton Prep threw an interception, and Teddy Rizak went all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. His older brother, Dominic, scored the first touchdown of the game. So it was the two Rizaks who led the Warriors to victory in that first quarter and got them off to a 17-0 start. And it really, that was the difference in the game, the start they had last week, and the defense gave the team a big boost.
Yeah, the defense overall, I mean, what a presence they were able to bring. Only allowed 41 passing yards. Of course, a first-year quarterback in John Pernicke definitely had his struggles, but he was nowhere near comfortable inside that pocket. It was a big thing to this defensive line.
Yeah, the defensive secondary did a great job, and they got a good push up front. They got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he never had any easy time back there looking for some receivers. He was mainly looking at the Westside defensive line, trying to avoid the rush, and it really made an impact in the game, that defensive pressure against the Junior Jays. So it was a good opening test for the defense, and they passed it considerably superb.
And we talked about the Rizaks overall, the pressure that they've been able to bring. I mean, you have Teddy Rizak, who we had as our Time 42 player of the game last week. What a night for Teddy Rizak, able to get 2 tips right into his gullet, be able to bring it in from Jamez Ross. Couple tips from him. 2 interceptions on the night, a 39-yard pick six, as well as another 2 deflections. The Rizaks will run it all.
I'll tell you what, that interception that Teddy had against Creighton Prep, that was a good bit of running that he had. Eluded several defenders from Creighton Prep as he was taking it back to the end zone. He's got some speed, he's got some strength, but overall he's got some quickness and some leadership on that defense that makes a big difference. And when you get a pick six, that's a big boost for this team.
So looking at Omaha North now, this is a team that did not have a season last year. There's so many questions going into this team. Of course, this last year's senior class from Omaha North was one of the best they've had since their 2015 state championship, but it's been a hard thing for them to be able to adjust this year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when you don't play a season of high school football and then you try to come back the next year, it's like starting all over again. All that experience you had goes out the window. And they've got a head coach, Larry Martin. Larry's won several state championships for the Vikings. They've also got an experienced staff. I mean, Lonnie Tapp on their staff. He was the head coach at Omaha Benson. And then you've got Damon Benning on the coaching staff. Just a great, great leader.
So going into last week's game up against Lincoln Southeast, they really struggled. The number 6 team in the state. This game was really sloppy, like the Westside Creighton Prep game. Really, Lincoln Southeast overall really just got, I don't want to say lucky, but really had a lot of good opportunities to pounce on some mistakes that Omaha North had.
Well, they got off to a tough start, and then Southeast came back late in the second half to win that game. You've got to wonder if the depth was a problem for Omaha North going there in the second half, because that's really where they dominated the game with 22 points.
So then going into this next week, looking how the Omaha World Herald standings are bringing into here, number one is, of course, Bellevue West. A huge 55-14 win over Burke last week. I mean, who can beat them?
Well, Bellevue West was upset in the playoffs a year ago by Kearney, and they've kind of made that motto and kept that game that they lost on a 2-point conversion from the Bearcats, and that upset kind of led the way for them into this season, and they remember what happened in the playoffs a year ago. They're on a mission right now. Bellevue West, one of the best teams in the state, if not the best right now, and they're the one everybody's aiming for right now. But I tell you, the team that I really think to watch is Millard South.
I mean, Millard South, 2 big wins. They played 2 Thursday night games, which has been really weird for them. Took down Millard North handily, then took down Elkhorn South last night, 33-7. Elkhorn South, as you saw, they're going into the week ranked 4th, and we thought that was going to be a back-and-forth, nitty-gritty game the whole time. But Millard South, goodness gracious, the athleticism on that team was just shown out last night.
They've got speed, but they've got a great leader in their quarterback, Gabe Stenger. And he is just a great athlete. And when you got a great athlete at quarterback like Westside had last year with Cole Payton, you can do a lot of things. He passes the ball well, but he's got good speed. A lot of big plays for the Patriots. They're the team to watch, I think, and they've really handled their first 2 opponents really well.
So throughout the rest of the top 10 has really been argued by a lot of different groups. The Omaha World Herald, Omaha High School Sports, NDB Preps, Lincoln Journal-Star have all had really 5 through 10. Very different. But here for the Omaha World Herald, you got Lincoln Southeast at 5, probably a big win, hopefully this week for them. Then Lincoln East at 6, Kearney at 7, North Platte at 8, 9 being Gretna. Zane Flores is going to be a man to watch this year for Gretna. And then 10, Grand Island, oddly, after a loss in week 1.
You know, a lot of people underestimate the teams outstate, the teams west of Lincoln. But Kearney, North Platte, Grand Island, they traditionally have good football teams, and sometimes they can come up with a big upset.
So we're going to take a quick break here on the KB pregame show. Once we come back, we'll get you guys into starting lineups and kickoff right after this. Mrs. Gail Carpenter-Johnson.
Warrior bands conducted by drum majors Alexander Brown, LaDemi Davies, and Kaylee Jones-Siebert perform our national anthem. Please remember and sing-alongs have been performed right on Westside.
Back here at Phelps Field for this matchup here. We're going to wrap up our KB pregame show before we get into kickoff. And to start off with these two teams, we're going to look at the starting offense for the Warriors. You're going to see Colby Brown at quarterback. Dominic Rizak going to do majority of the running duties. You might see a little bit of John S. Ross if you get into the later third and fourth quarters. At the fullback position, you see a lot of Andrew Nilsson and Cole Haberman, big guys to be able to block. At the tight end position, another area that Freund really likes to use blocking schemes for is going to be Cade Reeser. At the wide receiver positions, we're going to see a lot of Grant Guyette, a lot of Jack Wimmer, and a lot of Carter Hogan. You could also see Avery Donnellinger and Teddy Rizak around there as well. At the left tackle position, a big thing is going to be this offensive line. You'll see Jackson Yeager. At the left guard, it's going to be R.J. Eckert. At center, it's going to be Jack Wing. And this offensive line is going to be a huge thing to see for this team. We're going to get into the walk-up here in a moment and get you guys to kickoff.
That's a good offensive team for Westside when you look at Kobe Brown at quarterback and then Dominic Rizak, the All-State running back.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
So we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, the walkout for the Warriors.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. May God be with you all.
It's go time! It's showtime!
So Westside takes the field to start off this one here on this September 3rd night. It's a great matchup once again. Jaden Taylor alongside Raj Jernstrom. Number 2 Westside Warriors going up against the Omaha North Vikings. Tristan Alvano will be doing the kicking duties for Westside.
And this team is all fired up. Home opener against Omaha North. Degrees right now. A little cloudy, slight chance of rain, but looks like a great home opener for the Warriors.
Westside, of course, coming off of a 23-8 win over Creighton Prep this past week. It was somewhat of a sloppy game, especially in the second and third quarters. But the Warriors here looking for another big win. Of course, this season's schedule really talks with their top 2 teams that they're going to be going up against is the first 2 games of the season. It is Creighton Prep and Omaha North next week. After that, you'll look at Millard North, Grand Island, Norfolk, Bryan, and then Benson.
Watch the kickoff for Westside. Last week, Creighton Prep broke a big one on a kickoff return. We'll see what happens this time, but it's always good to get that ball deep in your opponent's territory here to start the game, to set the tone for Westside, and they'll try to get that ball deep against the Vikings. Goals including a 48-yarder. Tristan's got a big leg, also plays on the Westside soccer team. He's got the leg, plenty of distance. It's always good to have your special teams get you off to a strong start. Tristan Alvano steps back, gets ready for the kickoff, and here we go for this home opener between Omaha Westside and Omaha North.
Started off here in the first quarter. The big man we're going to talk about here for the Vikings is going to be number 1, Keyshawn Williams, the senior. One of our impact players coming into tonight. Can do a little bit of rushing duties as well as some out in the slot. We'll see what they want to do here.
And it's interesting, they've got a sophomore starting at quarterback, Jackson Flair. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 155 pounds. He's the starting quarterback for the Vikings tonight.
So it'll be a second and 11. Another pistol set.
You know, you want to establish that trenches, who's the more powerful team in Westside, trying to stick it to the Vikings up front there. Good push by the Warriors, and you want to see that from that defensive line.
So we have 3rd and 10 for Omaha North. Westside looking to get off the field early. A pass out to the left, over towards the corner. Able to make the catch is Keyshawn Williams.
That was a pretty pass right along the sidelines. He timed that perfectly, and Williams made a great of the game. Good pass right there.
We talked about Williams overall this season. He's really been the go-to guy when it comes to passing. We've seen this Omaha North team really throughout the season, especially up against Lincoln Southeast. They like this pistol set. They like to be able to run the ball, especially just like right here out to the left. And it looks like it could be another gain of about 3 or 4 for Westside, or for Omaha North.
And they're going to test that secondary for Westside. And Isaac Richards is the one on Keyshawn Williams here to start the game. Try to contain him. He's the game breaker for the Vikings there on the near side of the field.
Flair under center once again. We'll hand it off. Trying to cut to the outside. Gain about 6. And Tayshawn Porter has really been pushing the ground game here early in the first drive for Omaha North.
North moving the ball here on this first series. Got a first down, and now they're getting out to a 6-yard gain. And it's third down.
Another third down conversion the Vikings are looking for here. Straight Wildcat, Keyshawn Williams trying to get to the line. It looks like he got past it. It looks like it'll be another first down for the Vikings.
Little Wildcat formation there, having him step back in the backfield. Another first down. The North is off to a good start here. A couple of first downs. They're really moving the ball against that defensive line.
Something we haven't really seen from the Warriors this season. Really, we only saw one true prep drive last week where they were able to go step by step all the way down the field. And Omaha North, another Wildcat formation here. Williams pitch it back over to Kayvon Shannon. He's going to get wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Isaac Richards tried to signal for a possible fumble call.
Great tackle there by Jackson McIntyre. He really cut that reverse off and really limited them. And a 2-yard loss, just a great play right there by number 11, Jackson McIntyre. Players with a 3-man front, relying on the linebackers to make the plays here. And we've got a timeout on the field here early in the game. Second down.
So it'll be a second and 12 when we come back here on WTV Live. Vikings take their first time out.
Left here in the first quarter. Omaha North is on their opening drive. They've already picked up a couple first downs. The ball's at the 39-yard line. We see a pass, and it's picked off over the middle, and they're going to go all the way in the end zone for the touchdown. For the second week in a row, the Warriors return an interception for a touchdown. A big play by the Warriors here in the first quarter to get on the scoreboard. Just another great defensive play by this Warrior defense. They have really stepped up here at the start of the season. The Warriors out to a 6-0 lead. They'll come in for the extra point. Tristan Alvano, he'll go in there, and he had a great game a week ago, 3 field goals, and he'll attempt this one. The snap and the kick, and it's good. And Westside takes a 7-0 lead over Omaha North with 8:37 left in the first quarter.
I mean, especially after we thought we were going to see a quick, maybe decisive Omaha North drive to start off this one. I mean, Westside able to get a quick defensive recovery. Tommy Connolly able to do what he does best, deceive and get to the eyes of the quarterback, an easy pick and get it in for an easy score.
Tommy Connolly, when the stats came out after the first week of the season, he's among the top tacklers in the state. A lot of unassisted tackles, but he showed us there why he is such a good linebacker with an interception, and it was straight to the end zone when he picked that ball off. That'll boost your team up here to start the game after Omaha North had already gone through a couple of first downs. But a big play there to put the Warriors on the scoreboard here, 7-0 early in the game.
And the defense, like we said so much this year, has just been a huge piece to this team. They've really been able to help out this team overall and really, I guess, get this offense the best time and in the best position early like they're doing here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big surprises of the season so far is how well this defense has played. The secondary and the linebackers, they've done a terrific job so far into this second game. To get 2 touchdowns in your first 2 games on defense is really something to show the other teams in the Metro Conference what you have on defense. Now Tristan Ovano, he's back for the kickoff.
2 back deep. I guess a big piece of this team that we really haven't talked about too much is how good Tristan Ovano's been this year.
You know, Tristan's such a good soccer player. He just takes it to the football field, too. It always helps to have a great kicker on your team because you got the field goals, the extra points, the kickoffs, and then you got Marty Mormino on the punting. You've got great special teams, and that is a big part of a football team.
So once again in the pistol set for Omaha North. Flair will hand it off up the middle. Be about a gain of 8 for the Vikings, and once again the ground game is starting off early.
Jack Wimmer with the tackle there, kind of plugged it up the middle. Good game by Omaha North, about 7 yards on that play, but good stop by Jack Wimmer.
So it'll be a Omaha North team put just under 54 yards last week, and a big hole down the sideline. It'll be a touchdown for Tayshawn Porter. What a big play from the Vikings, able to look to tie this one up early.
Tayshawn Porter just broke through that big hole in the middle of the Westside defense, and he popped out into the secondary, and it was daylight all the way to the end zone, untouched. And we've got...
I mean, that linebacker and that secondary overall just wide open as he went through that hole. So the ground game, like we talked about, got them a few first downs in that first drive. The passing game didn't help them out, and it looks like they might possibly look to go for 2 here. Wildcat formation, Williams in the gun, and they'll do it. Williams will take it himself up the middle, and he dives in from Porter, and Williams brings it in for the 2-point conversion, and Omaha North here early has a lead.
Quite a statement by the Omaha North offense. They have the big play with the run, and then to back it up with a play right up the middle on a 2-point conversion. That's right in your face there for the Omaha Vikings to get up there on the scoreboard and take the lead in this game right now with the 2-point conversion, 8-7. Not a good showing there by the Westside defense, especially in the middle. But I'll tell you what, Omaha North showed some power and some speed there. That's a little bit of a stunner for your confidence.
Exactly, especially on defense with how good they were last week. It might do some damage to a couple of egos on that defense of how wide that was open.
Yeah, I'm sure they got a talking to when they came off the sidelines from the defensive coaches. You know, don't let it hurt your confidence. Keep your mind on the game. We're still in it. But I'll tell you what, 2 big plays by Omaha North's offense has really kind of bruised the ego here.
Back deep for Westside, little squib kick across the middle. It'll go to Dominic Rizak, fumbles it a little bit, he pick it back up. Go back across the middle, wide opening, and he might be gone, 1 man to beat, but he'll take him down at the 49-yard line of Omaha.
Special teams a week ago, and he shows it again tonight. He's not only a good running back, but also a good kickoff returner, and he gives Westside great field position now if they can answer after Omaha North has taken the lead.
Three wide set for the Warriors. Wimmer will go in motion. A gain of 12. It's Carter Hogan with a quick screen pass. And a quick 12-yard gain for the Warriors will give them another first down.
It's off to a good start.
Run up the middle. Dominic Rizak will jump back out to the outside, but
Good play.
John Wilson able to make a great tackle.
Good play there by the Omaha North defense. They really plugged up that hole. He didn't have anywhere to go, but we'll see if Westside can come back here on second down.
So it'll make it a 2nd and 11. 3 out wide once again. See what Frank wants to do here. 6 stacked up in the box defensively for Omaha North. Quick pass.
There's a nice quick pass there by Colby Brown. It really does not give the defense much of a chance to make a play as when you step back maybe 2 or 3 steps and fire that ball like Colby did on that last play.
Brown under center. Looks like a little pistol formation here. A little pitch out to Dominic Rizak. He'll cut back to the inside. 2 North defenders on him. Looks like it might have been a gain of 1, but that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they still got him out down.
A big thing that we talked about in film with this team overall is really how much Freund likes to be able to go for it in between the 30 and 40-yard lines. It's not that he doesn't trust his kicker, it's that he wants to be aggressive. Motion out to the right. Little trickery here, thrown up and tucked, and Brown wants a quick play.
Great play by there. Great long pass. Rizak made a great catch over the defender, and now Westside's trying a quick play right here to maybe get North off balance as they substitute.
Be a wildcat play. And Freund will call. It's been back and forth.
We've seen a lot of great plays so far, and we're only about 7 minutes into this game, and it's been great. You love to see it. Both teams answer when one gets on the scoreboard, the other team comes back. Some big plays already in this game. Interception for a touchdown, long touchdown run by Omaha. A little off balance there. The Vikings called timeout. They didn't have the right people in there. But 1st and goal right there, down at about the 3-yard line. That's in great position for Westside to get in the end zone.
Yeah, a little bit of trickaroo. Freund is not usually a guy that likes to open it up like that, but what will do?
A ball comes, out of the air, and a great catch down there at the 3-yard line by Rizak has put Westside threatening here and scoring position.
So they'll be down at the 3. Brown will come back out. Rizak will be behind him. See if they want to go a pitch out to the left. Motion from Carter Hogan out to the right, and looks like it would be illegal formation.
Yeah, one thing you do not want to do when you're down there that close to the goal line is to have a penalty, and yard line gets a little tougher to get into the end zone from there, but we'll see if Westside can bounce back after that penalty. So costly, little things like that, little mental errors really hurt you.
And that was the thing we really saw in that first game for Creighton Prep. They weren't able to really take advantage of some of the small mistakes Westside had been making. So it'll back him up 5. Rizak to his right behind him. Motion out to the left from Carter Hogan. Little pitch. Rizak does a little shimmy move and will get into the end zone. Rizak breaks 2 tackles. And Westside, in their first offensive drive of the day, put points on the board.
I'll tell you what, that was end zone, and Westside's back on top here, trying for the extra point.
Yeah, looking at the play just going into it, I'm like, oh, he's going to be wrapped up. He's going to be wrapped up. The offensive line ain't helping him out. But Rizak taking it all for himself, able to get into the end zone. PAT is good from Tristan Alvano. So Westside up 14-8 with Jefferson Alvano once again up 14-8 here with 5:26 left to go in the first quarter. 2 back deep once again for the Vikings. And once again, Alvano kicks it into the back of the end zone for a touchdown. It started off with a 40-yard pick six from Tommy Connolly. Then right back Omaha North with a 73-yard touchdown run from Trayshawn Porter. And then Rezak, little shifty move right there after a long drive for the Warriors. And it's 14-8 here. Caught. Travion Brown able to make his first catch of the day. Isaac Richard on the tackle.
Good play there by Isaac Richard there to wrap them up, limit them to about 5 yards. Good coverage by the Warriors on that play.
This will be a gain of 6. Omaha North we've seen all today working in the pistol. Of course, with Westside, we've seen offensively a lot of different formations. We've seen a little bit of wildcat. We've seen a little bit of the spread.
You know, North goes out of that I formation there with the fullback, get a little blocking, but the Westside did a good job of plugging that right side of the line there and stopping that run. That's what they need to do. They can't leave the player like they had when Porter broke that 73-yard run. They got to plug it up early and stop that North offensive line.
So another third down here for the Vikings. Third of the day. They're one out and just able to get to the first down and move the chains for the Vikings.
That was a good run there. All they needed was just 3 or 4 yards to get that first down. Omaha North, little at a time, but it always helps to get that first down of the series. And they moved the ball out to the 32-yard line right now. And not a bad start for North on this series.
That's what we've seen from both of their series already here in this one. We've seen a lot of ground and pound, taking a lot of time off the clock.
Good style, very slow.
Multi-back set. Porter trying to get to the outside, and he's able to get about a gain of 6.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on that left side of the North offensive line. Good play there, about a 6-yard gain, and that'll help you get off on a first down to keep this drive alive.
So a 2nd and 4. A little more bunched up set here. I-4 be a loss for the Vikings.
You know, last week Westside got a lot of penetration there in their defensive line against Creighton Prep. There were a lot of tackles for losses, and Tommy Conley led that Warrior defense a week ago. Just a good pursuit there. 3 or 4 Westside players around the ball.
Last year's senior, specifically with linebacker Ben Radisha, Tommy Connolly has that kind of same mental aspect. He wants to hit, and he wants to hit hard, and he's going to find as many tackles as he can. Little slant route out to the inner sideline, goes out of bounds. That'll bring up a 4th and 7 for Omaha North.
Good play by there by the Westside defense. Covered the receivers. The ball was a little overthrown to the outside. But now we'll see punt returns for this Westside team.
Higgins on to punt for Omaha North. Looks to be Hogan. Shanked punt. Omaha North's going to try to pick it up themselves. They'll get the first down. What a play there. Deshaun Higgins picks up the punt.
Where you
he came to himself.
you almost shake the ball to the right side and then you scoop it up the punter. It's almost like a fake punt, but they get the first down out to the 45-yard line. I've been covering high school football for a long time, but I've never seen the punter return his own kick.
And the reason for that, the ball never went past the line of scrimmage. That's why he was able to.
Hey, you might see that little thing on the plays of the night.
Another pitch out to the left. This time it'll be Shannon trying to deke around, push at the line to be a gain of about 2.5 as we close in on the last 2 minutes here in the first quarter.
You got to wonder what the Westside coaching staff is thinking there when they see.
How do you defend that? I mean, there's no way to defend that overall. I mean,
Coach didn't prepare us for that type of play there on special teams.
Stay under center. He'll give it off, and another defensive push by this Westside defensive line, and they have been all over that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cole Haberman, Ryan Zadiska, Tommy Conley, they really plugged up that middle there, and that's been a good play for Westside so far tonight. Big 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 for Omaha North.
2 out wide to the right, little slant pass, and able to make the play is Travion Brown. That'll be another first down for the Vikings.
You know, you got to wonder if that punt play by Omaha North kind of takes the confidence away from your defense when you have an awkward play like that. You think you got them stopped, and then they punt the ball and they get and Omaha North is going, we'll take anything to get a first down.
Yeah, the big thing with this as well is how Omaha North has been able to do well on their 3rd down conversions. They've been a really big piece of this team, 4 for 5 on the night. Creighton Prep last week was only 4 for 16. So Omaha North doing a lot to keep themselves into this ball game. It's going to be the end of the first quarter here at Phelps Field. Westside up 14-8. We'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, second quarter action, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Here in the second quarter, Omaha North continuing their drive on the west side, 44 here with the 1st and 10. Another Wildcat formation. Williams pitches it out to Shannon. Shannon trying to get to the outside. Will take a slight hit and head out of bounds. Be a gain of about 1.
Great pursuit there by the Westside secondary to stop, and now brings up 2nd down.
And the thing we've seen a lot here today is a lot of Wildcat formations for both sides. I mean, we really didn't see this a lot for Westside last year. I can't say anything for Omaha North because they didn't play last year, but kind of been an odd setup. We don't really see a lot of Wildcat formation, especially in the first quarters of high school football.
Yeah, and North's just trying to take advantage with their speed here early in the game.
So Williams going to try to take it himself here up the middle, tries to break a hole, but will be taken down at about the 42-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, big play here for 1st down. So this is a big play right here for the Westside defense to try to stop this drive by Omaha North. They're bringing in about 3 or 4 players from the sidelines. We'll see what they do. They probably stack it up with some tight ends. Yeah, that's what we see.
Looks like Omaha North might want to take a timeout here, and they will. So maybe some.
This is a key situation here in the game. They're driving the ball downfield. They're Westside territory. They're in a 2-down situation with just about 3 yards to go for a first down, and that's what Omaha North is trying to do. Probably trying a running play, maybe over the right side where they've had some success tonight. See if they can penetrate that Westside defense that has really done really well tonight, except for one play, that 73-yard touchdown run to take the lead in the game.
We really haven't seen him a lot in the running game since then, which is somewhat odd. Might be some injury talk?
Yeah, that could be. I mean, at a running back position, you're going to get some ankle injuries, leg injuries, but I haven't seen him on the sidelines or he hasn't left the game at all.
Another I formation, one out to the right for Omaha North. 3rd and 2 up the middle, and the Vikings will be able to get the first down and continue their drive here.
They found some power up the middle, and that's how they scored on the 73-yard run. They found a hole up the middle that broke free, and if they can, they've got a good push up there up front, but Westside has answered at times from
to try to win games and get big formations. They're quick with their skill positions, and they're really big at the line.
Well, there, Westside answers right back. Good stop there by Zadiska and Haberman to really plug that hole up the middle, and now it's 2nd and long for Omaha North. Tell you what, Omaha North takes their time, real deliberate style on their drives. They take a lot of time in the huddle. They're setting their own pace in this game.
North already with 147 total yards on the night here in the first quarter and a half. Long pass out to the right, and it's tipped but not picked off. Isaac Richard beating himself up after that one. Fleer's throw was way underthrown. And it was
interception, but he had that play all covered and had an opportunity for an interception, and now it brings up 3rd and long for this Viking team. We'll see what they want to do. Obviously, a pass play is what they want. With 3rd down and long like this, they've got wide receivers to the right. See what happens.
Fleer only 23 yards passing so far for the Vikings. 3rd and 9. He'll step back. Looks over to the right. Another long ball over Isaac Richards' head. Able to make the catch and in for the score. Kayshawn Williams, the man of the hour for the Vikings, has tied it up with a huge 30-plus yard touchdown.
Yeah, on that play, it was underthrown, the ball, and Richards did not look back soon enough to make the play.
Williams last week up against Lincoln Southeast had one receiving touchdown and was a big factor to this offense.
And they'll go for the 2-point conversion again, no extra point.
Williams once again the Wildcat. He'll take it himself, maybe a little pass, and it's blocked. So the second 2-point conversion of the day for the Vikings is no good. So this game is tied up at 14 with 10-10 left to go here in the second quarter. And again, we've talked about these two teams back and forth, one big play after another.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you've kind of seen it all here in the first quarter in 2 minutes. The way these two teams have played, you've seen interceptions, a muffed punt for a first down, and then you've seen interception for a touchdown by Westside, the long touchdown run by Omaha North. But I'm anxious to see how this Westside offense responds after a touchdown by Omaha North to tie the game back up.
So we'll take a quick break here when they come out for the kickoff. It looks like Omaha North, Westside will send three guys back, It'd be number 34, Kurt Kubrich. Works a lot as a linebacker, as well as Dominic Rizak and Grant Guyette. So we'll be back right after this for more second quarter action here on WTV Live. tied here at 14 with 10:10 left to go here in this second quarter. A Keyshawn Williams reception for a touchdown of 30 yards has tied this ball game up. Another squib kick and fumble. Scary special teams play there for the Warriors.
Well, obviously, Omaha North does not have a kicking game because they do not kick extra points, and their 2 kickoffs have been squib kicks here. But Westside, I tell you what, a lot of times those squib kicks could cause you a lot of problems. They're so tough to handle, and Westside was really lucky to retrieve that ball and get on top of it because Omaha North was almost there to land on it.
So Westside with another pistol set under the gun for down.
Yeah, nice play there by Dominic Rezak. Good gain of about 5 yards. Big hole for him up the middle and dove out there to the 38-yard line. And Westside will go with the quick offense.
Another pistol set for the Warriors. Grant Guyette out to the left. They'll hand it off to Rezak once again, bouncing out to the inner sideline, able to get the first down for a gain of 7.
Yeah, Dominic did not see a hole up there in the middle. Stepped out to the outside on over the right side, found some daylight. Good gain there, takes the ball out to the 46-yard line. This drive is on a roll right now.
Rezak, although had that big 7-yard. Another pitch out to Rezak. He'll try to get to the inner sideline, break a crease, and will get another first down. Rezak barreling his head through that Omaha North defense.
Westside coaches have found something on that right side over there. They found a weakness over there for Omaha North. The majority of plays have been over that right side. And I've had to tell you what, Westside's blockers have done a great job to keep Rezak up and open on this drive.
And the big thing talking about this Omaha North defense is how, I don't want to say lax it is, but how light of cover have.
But they've gone to the ground game here on this drive, and they've found success. And if Westside can do that, if you can win the ground game, you're going to win most of your football games because it all starts with the running game, and they've done a good job here in the second quarter on this drive.
Brown under center, one out wide to the left in Guyette. Over to the inner sideline. No catch, will be incomplete.
Yeah, Colby right there did not see anybody open. He just threw that ball away. Both receivers down the right side of the field were covered. Just a good decision by him just to kind of throw the ball away there. And it now brings up 3rd and long for Westside. Three receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Now 3 on the far side for Westside.
Warriors 0 for 1 on 3rd down here in this ball game. We've seen for the second time tonight. Little ball gets on the ground. A muff snap.
Just looking at that play, were they looking at it maybe a shovel pass, or was that just a muff snap?
I think it was really a muff snap. I mean, we've seen Jack Wing at the center position, but that one looked like it was deflected right out of the gate. So once again, we see Brown in the shotgun, 3 out wide, and there'll be a little pooch punt from Colby Brown.
Good bounce.
It'll roll near the 1. Can they keep it in? They did. And Omaha North will be set up at their own half-yard line to start off this next drive.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, that ball almost went in the end zone. Westside land on it. And I'll tell you what, we'll see Vikings will start on about the 1-inch line. Tough place to start for the Vikings.
Possibly a situation to where you might see some blitz, but it could come back to bite them for the Warriors. But 2 quick, easy points would be big. Flair under center. He's going to hand it off, and he is stuffed in the end zone, and it's going to be a safety for Westside.
No, I think the referee is going to put it at a safety, but it looked like it. The initial push from Westside took him back into the end zone, but the official, the linesman's going to rule it down at the 1. He said he got out of the end zone.
That's hard to see here. We even have a camera angle up down in the end zone right there. You can see, I don't think he got past.
Yeah, just from the initial standpoint where we are, it did not look like he got out of the end zone because Westside had such a big push. But we'll see if that happens again.
So we're about in the twice, and Williams with a huge stiff arm then steps out of bounds at the 31, and the blitz beats him once again for Westside.
You know, it reminds me, Jaden, when Westside University of Nebraska played in the Gator Bowl and Tommy Armstrong had third down and he get lucky, and looks like Omaha North, it happened for them there.
So out at the 29, it'll be a run play up the middle for no gain.
You know, that's such a mental blow when you have a team just stuck down there deep in their territory. You got a chance for a safety to maybe turn this game around, and then to give up that big 30-yard pass. It's tough on your mental part of your defense when stuff like that happens, and the defensive coaches try to push that. When you have a big play against you, you got to bounce back right away.
And you definitely can't be happy at Isaac Richard. He's been beat 3 times today going up against Keyshawn Williams. Might want to see if they'll tackle for a loss, and it'll bring up a long third down.
Ryan Zadiska busted up the middle and got the running back there for a big loss, probably 5 yards back. And now the Westside defense has got this North offense in a real predicament here. 3rd down and 15. And you know where North's going to go with the ball if they're going to throw it.
I mean, Williams will be the guy to see here. See if they put up Richard on him. They don't. They flipped it around. They're going to put Rezak on Richard, or excuse me, on Williams. On the inner sideline, it's going to be Travion Brown up against Richard, but a little bit of a motion here. Jamez Ross will go on Richard. See another I formation. Fleer able to get out of it, trying to make something out of this pass over the head of Williams. And it'll be a long 4th down.
Good pursuit there by the Westside pass rush. And long play. And now Westside's going to get the ball back. And North in a punting situation again. We'll see how good this punting game is for the Vikings.
Yeah, all day we've seen Deshaun Higgins do both the punting and kicking duties. He's not even listed as a punter or kicker. He's listed as a wide receiver. Let's see if he can do a better punt here. Gets it off over about the 48-yard line. Kurt Kubrich is taken down there. And Westside will start off at their own 47.
Great field position for the Warriors here at the 47-yard line. And we'll see if this they can take advantage of this great field position here with about 4 minutes left in the first half.
So we know these first 2 games are going to be the top games that Westside has done the same thing. How can Westside stay up in those at that upper echelon with those 2 teams? And
they got enough time here late in the first half to have a nice drive, 4.5 minutes, and we'll see what they can do.
The pass over to Rezak, able to make a great play and tumble down for about a gain of 5.
Yeah, I think Coach Freund is looking here. Take your time. Let's be real deliberate. Get some good short yardage situations. Now we got 2nd down and 5.
Omaha North today. Westside's been somewhat quicker. Motion out to the left. High snap, give it off to Rezak, and he's not able to go anywhere.
You know, one of the things good coaches do is time management. And with under 4 minutes to play here in the first half, you don't want to move too quickly downfield. Be real deliberate in your play selection and try to burn some clock here with the ball at the 49-yard line.
We're under 4 minutes left to go here in this first half. Been a lot of scoring in that first quarter. It's been a lot longer and slower of drives here in the second. 4 out wide, 3 out wide to the left for the Warriors. Brown steps back, a lot of pressure, and a big sack for number 35, Santre Brown. And it'll move the Warriors.
Simon, 5'11", he broke through and got to Brown. And that was a big play, and Omaha North's going to get the ball back with under 3 minutes to play.
So Westside now 0 for 3 on the day in 3rd down conversions. And they'll have to punt it away once again. Marty Mormino back to do the punting duties.
Let's see if he can get it down to the 1-inch line.
About the 25. And looks like it might have been a fumble. Ball on the ground, a little bit of a tip from both sides. And refs are signaling it'll go to Omaha North.
And it looked like Omaha North couldn't decide whether to let the ball bounce and roll or to take the ball, and the ball went down on the turf, and the Vikings were there to recover it. But boy, that could have been a big mistake there and a big turnover. But Omaha North gets the ball back at about the 25-yard line here with just 2.5 minutes.
Bounce came off of Kurt Kubrich
and
then went back on Higgins, and a crumble assumes.
Yeah, I think the Westside player just thought, I'll let it bounce and see where it goes.
Another Wildcat formation here for Omaha North, trying to find one big drive, and there'd be an early flag. Looks like it'd be an illegal formation for Omaha North.
Still 2.5 minutes to play in this first half, and Westside trying to keep Omaha North in a hole. Now with second down and long, or no, it'll be a first down after the penalty. Here we're about 15 yards.
And this 2.5 minutes, especially in high school football, for a lot of groups like Millard South and those top 10 teams, even for Westside, it's a lot more time to deal with, especially with no timeouts here for Omaha North and the ground game that they've had to pursue here today. It might be a little bit more of a challenge.
Now the question is, should Westside use some timeouts here now that they've got second down and long for Omaha North? You might see Coach Freund use some timeouts to save some time here with 2 minutes left in the first half. Because Omaha North is taking their time in the huddle. And now, just like I said, Coach Freund called a timeout with 1:58 left here in the first half.
So Westside will take a break, and so will we once we come back. The end of the second quarter here at Phelps Field. Westside, Omaha North tied at 14. Second down play was for a gain of about 8.5. It'll be a gain of 10. It'll be a 3rd and 6 for Omaha North. The Vikings so far today 6 for 8 on third down conversions, and it's really allowed them to continue these drives and get into Westside territory.
Vikings taking their time, getting to the line of scrimmage, trying to burn some of that time off the clock. We're down to 1:17.
Another pitch out, trying to get it across the middle is Tayshawn Porter. They will not get to the first down. And deep in their own territory, we'll see if Omaha North might go for it. So Westside will take a timeout, trying to stop the clock with 1:06 left to go here in this second quarter. And for Freund, what's the game plan here when you only have one timeout left?
Well, first of all, you want to get the ball back in a good field position. Maybe put some pressure on the punter right here. Maybe try to get a block. We'll see how many people they rush right now. They got a good chance to do that. Of course, the punting game for Omaha North has not been real good. If you might remember early in the game, they had a shank where the punter caught the ball after he just more or less just booted it straight up in the air and was able to get a first down off that shanked punt. His other punts have been about 20, 25 yards, but Westside's going to be in good field position regardless of what happens here.
So with 1:06 left to go here in this first half, Westside only has 74 total yards of offense compared to Omaha North's 214. And the passing game with 53 yards has been the majority of their offense here tonight, but definitely not what they usually want it to be. So Rezak will take it at about the 30. Try to come out to the outside. Excuse me, that's Kurt Kubrich. He's going to cut back in, try to cut through the middle, and is taken down by 3 Omaha North kick returners. And Westside will start off at the Omaha North 45-yard line with 51 seconds left to go here in this first half.
There are not any blockers over there on that right side. Just a great individual effort there to get the ball out to the 45-yard line of Omaha North.
And a lot better of punt than we've usually seen from Deshaun Higgins.
Yeah, that was his longest.
Set up in the shotgun. 51 seconds here, going to see a lot of pass plays. Kobe Brown across the middle, able to make the catch. Looks like it'd be number 49, Caden Guzman.
Hurry up offense for the Warriors here. Brown just working this offense, trying to throw the ball downfield.
Brown once again in the shotgun. He'll step back, try to get out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself, go across the middle, and it'll take a hit. They'll go to a first down with 23 seconds.
And Coach Freund just rushed out there to the official, and he just spikes the ball.
So Kobe Brown will spike it. 18 seconds left here in this first half. They're down at the 31. You probably have time, especially with your one timeout, for 2, maybe 3 plays.
Yeah, Coach Freund and Colby Brown communicating there on the near side of the field, trying to find out which play. They've got some time here with the clock stopped with 18 seconds left, and they'll set up with 3 receivers to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side.
First and 10 here for the Warriors. Brown steps back once again, but an early flag. Might have been a false start.
Right there for Westside not to have the play because it looked like it might have been a sack. I'm telling you, Omaha North got a good jump off the defensive line that there. Good push. Again, 2 receivers to the far side of the field, and now the 2 officials will converge on the middle of the field. And we've got a stop in action right here and a timeout. Westside's got a chance for maybe 2 or 3 plays here, throwing the ball.
Surprised how much time Westside had to reset there. 18 seconds on the clock. Colby Brown with a 4 wide set. He'll drop back in the pocket. Long throw out to the outside. Grant Guyette able to make the play and stretch the ball past the first down marker. And it's a first down for the Warriors inside the red zone.
That is just a great play by Colby Brown right there. Great timing. Throw 13 seconds left.
Another 4 wide set for Westside. Again, probably 2, maybe 3 more plays that they're able to work quick here at the 20. Brown will step back. Look out to the outside, and that ball is overthrown over Grant Guyette's head.
Omaha North coming with a 4-man rush. Good protection right there by the Westside offensive line. Gave Brown enough time to throw on that play, and they got a chance maybe for 1 more pass play, and then we might see the field goal kicker, Tristan Alvano.
Be big for the Warriors here to get 1 quick score before the end of the first half, especially to give them momentum going into the second half, especially how close and really drawn out the second quarter has been.
They're looking to the far side of the field with 3 wide receivers.
Reception, it will be. Carter Hogan able to make the sliding catch down at the 6-yard line. 6 seconds left. It looks like Freund was trying to call a timeout, and he will.
Now the question here is, do you kick the field goal or do you try for the end zone?
I think especially how this Westside offense has been set up, you're going to see a lot of slants, especially with that 4-wide setup. You're allowed to see quick passes trying to get into the end zone, but you got to go for the end zone.
If they're going for it, make sure that you stop the clock too. You can't be short of the end zone. You gotta get in there, and you'll see the receivers with only 5 yards out. They'll go to the end zone because of short play. The clock will run out for them.
I think definitely defensively for Omaha North, you're going to see a lot bunched up in that box. You see a lot of linebackers trying to work that inside, so you're not able to see a lot of those slants. You could also see a fade out to the right to Grant Guyette, but no matter what, it's going to be a passing play.
Okay, Westside's going to go for it here.
With 6 seconds left, Westside will try to go for it and try for a quick pass or quick play to get 6 seconds left here in the first half. Westside on the doorstep. Motion out to the left. Little fade up and caught from Grant Guyette. There is a flag on the field. There is still a flag on the field. Referees are going to converge. But if it's on Omaha North, it'll be a touchdown for Westside. We'll see what the calling is here. It'll be on the defense, and Westside with 3 seconds remaining here in the first half. Grant Guyette, a quick fade route and a great catch.
That play only took 3 seconds for Westside. Great execution by Colby Brown to get rid of that ball out of the shotgun and look to the corner of the end zone. No doubt about it. Big play there to go into the locker room at halftime.
Somewhat mossed the defender up on that play. Able to make a great play and give Westside momentum going into halftime. The PAT from Tristan Albano is good. So with 3 seconds left, Westside
to take that 21-14 lead. But what a big play right there. 6 seconds left on the clock, and you execute that touchdown.
Coaching staff, Freund, able to really dig through his playbook and find the ones that work to be able to get a quick drive, but able to get a drive that was consistent, efficient, and able to get a quick score.
Yeah, to get the ball back with less than a minute to go and go about 55 yards and score a touchdown. That is really impressive by a high school offense to execute that well in the closing seconds of the first half.
We'll still have an opportunity to make something special out of here in special teams. And I'm not counting anything out because Omaha North has had a day special teams wise.
Well, Tristan has done a good job kicking the ball out of the end zone so far in this game, and I think that's what they'll try to do right now.
So Albano 3 for 3 on PATs today, also 4 for 4 on able to get a touchback. And we'll see what they want to do here, maybe a quick squib kick, or if Albano use the boot to the back of the end zone. Field goals. This will be a squib kick. And that will end the first half. So Westside, a late score and a huge 4-yard passing play from Grant Guyette ends it here in the first half. And as we go to the break, Westside 21, Omaha North 14.
I'll tell you what, Westside takes momentum into the halftime, into the locker room. And what do you think Coach Freund's going to tell that team in the locker room at halftime? Great execution. Great job there to get back on the scoreboard and take the lead right before halftime. And I'll tell you what, the way that they worked that clock and got the ball all the way down there and to the 5-yard line with only 6 seconds left on the clock, and then you score a touchdown with just 3 seconds left, really shows how good this offense can be. And I got to hand it to the quarterback, Colby Brown. He really executed that drive to precision and really worked that ball down the field with
head to the break, up 21-14. We'll take a break here on Warrior Television. And when we come back, more recap over that first half, and we'll get into more second half action.
Whoa, who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
Whoa, who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
1978, three-time state champion diver in tennis and basketball.
Touch the microphone. I'm not.
Tom Oldham, 2000, one of Westside High School's best pitchers in baseball. Josh Locke, 2005, outstanding football and track athlete. Lastly, please welcome back members of the 1975 Boys State Champion track team, coached by the late Hall of Fame coach, Bob Klein. How about a nice Westside welcome for the Hall of Fame member?
back here for second half action here at Phelps Field. It's 21-14 in favor of the Warriors, and we're going to look now at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the game. These two teams, Westside and Omaha North, have played each other 3 times in the playoffs. 2 of those 3 times, Westside would become the state runner-up. What year was the time that they did not? It's a little bit of a mouthful. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
Okay, this Dunkin Trivia. You always try to stump Ross.
We'll wait on a guess for now. Right?
Okay.
So hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter with the correct answer. It's really a 1 out of 3 if you know these 3 years. Hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter with the correct answer. The first correct answer will get you a $10 gift card to any Dunkin Donuts in the Omaha Metro and Nebraska area. So looking at this first half overall, I mean, Westside got off to a quick start with a 40-yard pick 6 from Tommy Conley. Then Omaha North was able to break a huge play open from Tayshawn Porter, a 73-yard touchdown run from him. Then a longer drive for Westside ended in a 7-yard touchdown run from Rezac. Then back the other way, Omaha North has a long drive themselves, ending in a 30-yard Kayshawn Williams reception, and then back and forth once again. A lot throughout that back end of the second quarter, but Westside able to take advantage of Omaha North being deep in their own territory, and then able to get a quick drive with just over a minute left to go in that second quarter to be able to capitalize on a touchdown from Grant Guyette.
Yeah, it was a big difference maker there at the end of the first half for Westside to go into the locker room ahead 21-14. Colby Brown engineered a great drive with just under a minute to go. Little short passes, great timing there with 6 seconds left on the clock, and they were able to get in the end zone. Great catch by great Guyette just to make the touchdown there with 3 seconds left.
And a big thing we haven't really been talking about too much just overall as a factor, but Omaha North special teams has been a big factor here today. That Deshaun Higgins shank punt into first down. I don't even know what to call that. And then another muff punt, or a little, I won't call it a shank punt, but definitely wasn't a great punt on the day for Higgins. And then also on the other end, multiple PAT attempts would be 2-point conversion to where we'd see a lot of Kayshawn Williams. And Higgins will come in to kick it off here in the second half. We've seen all squibs from him here today.
Big applause out on the field right now, out on about the 45-yard line. Coach Brent Foyt has been named the Coach of the Year for the past school year, awarded the Harley Schrager Award, which is given to the top head coach at Westside High School. And Coach Foyt deserves it a lot after winning the first state championship since 1982 last year in that game right here against Elkhorn South for the state championship. So well deserved for Coach Foyt.
And not to mention, just 2 years ago as well, they're able to get to that state championship game. Of course, only to lose to Bellevue West, but it talks a lot about the coaching staff, because going into that playoffs 2 years ago, this team wasn't really one of the teams that you thought would be vying for the final 2.
That's true. And West, that motivation, and that's what worked there with quarterback Cole Payton last year to take them all the way to the state championship. Avante Dickerson, Kobe Bratz, Cade Haberman. It was just a great group of seniors to lead Westside to the state title. But this is 2021, and here's the start of the second half, and Jaden Taylor.
Higgins with a little bit longer of a kick here. It'll be Kirk Kubridge trying to get to the inner sideline. Will bring it up to about the 38, and Westside once again in good field position.
Good start for Westside here, coming off that touchdown at the end of the first half, and they've got good field position out here at the 38-yard line. And see if they can carry that momentum on that they went into the locker room at the end of the first half, and see if Colby Brown, they might work that offense that they had at the end of the first half.
Be an eye set with Rezac in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Rezac. He'll bunch through the pile, still going. and will push two Omaha North defenders, both probably 50 pounds heavier than him, another 2 or 3 yards forward, and it's a 2nd and 5.
And I think that's why the Air Force Academy knows they're getting a great athlete in Dominic Rizak. He just showed his strength right there all the way out there. A 6-yard run, but it lasted about 15 seconds.
So Front really likes these bunch sets that started off here in this 3rd quarter. Didn't see a lot of running in the 2nd quarter, but now Rizak's gotten the ball once again.
Very close to a 1st down. And it looks like they're going to measure it right now. The officials are calling out the chain. They're going to take a look at this one real quick.
Now Rizak came on the inner sideline, but they'll move it. And Rizak with 2 big plays to start it off here in this 3rd quarter.
What a lot of coaches want to do, they just want to, something simple, something short with running game just to kind of get that feel of the 7 minutes. So Westside's in good position here at the 49-yard line. They're huddled up on the near side of the field. Just a timeout right here by the officials as we try to resume play here early in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this drive right here will be really big for Westside overall, especially already up 1 score. Big factor, I think, for Omaha North's offense.
Big confidence builder. If Westside gets all the way to the end zone on this drive, then Westside's ahead by 14 points. It's crucial for Westside just to move the ball on this opening drive of the 2nd half. And we had an injury down there. We couldn't see the player. There was an Omaha North player down on the field at the 43-yard line. He's back on the field right now, walking across the field. So that's what the delay in the game was.
As the senior lineman. Westside here with this drive, 11-14 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. Again, we've seen 2 quick bunch sets for Westside. Rizak's been able to do his job overall. And although Westside has not had as much of an offensive attack overall, they've had a lot.
And they've had a lot of success here on just 2 plays to get a 1st down.
Only 134 total yards here in that 1st half, and here now early in the 2nd half. 216 overall for Omaha North. 4 wide set. Quick little route over to Grant Guyette. It'll be a gain of 6.
Passes. Brown steps back to pass, and he looks at his receiver and makes a quick decision. And the receivers are right there on the same wavelength with Brown, and that's a good way to move your offense downfield.
And Grant Guyette with the catch there has been the main man all day. 50 feet taken down. A quick blitz on the outer side of the tackle box. And it looks like, I believe that might have been Keyshawn Williams. It was coming off of that outside with a quick blitz on the end. And
Omaha North, they really disguised that really well. You didn't make the play, and it's a tough loss for Westside right there.
So we'll make it a 3rd and 8. Once again, 4 out wide for Westside. See what Colby Brown and this Warrior offense can do. Another blitz, high snap. And Brown is going to have to retreat a long ways and kind of throw this one up and out of the reach of Grant Guyette near the 1st down marker. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 8. They're at Omaha North's 49, so this is not an unreasonable situation to possibly go for it, but it looks like they'll bring on the punting team.
You know, anytime anybody's punting near midfield situations, but you also look at this way, that they try to punt the ball into a situation where you get the ball down inside the 10 to 15-yard line there.
Mormino will get it away. A long punt will drop near the 5-yard line and will go into the end zone for a touchback. So with 9:28 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, Westside unable to capitalize off their 1st drive of the day, and Omaha North will take over. We'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, Omaha North looking to tie this one up here in the early 3rd quarter.
Whoa, who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
A big run there from Trayvon Brown, able to bust out to the outside and bring it all the way to the Omaha North 46.
Great start there for Omaha North to get their offense back on track. It's been a long time since they've been out on the field.
Another Wildcat set. Williams will see motion. He'll take it himself up the gut. Sees an opening. And
big hole over the left side. The quarterback found the opening and went into the secondary. Almost broke it all the way to the end zone, but the Westside secondary made the play. And Omaha North's off to a good start here at the start of the second half.
It's another Wildcat formation. Williams going to keep it again. Motion out to the right. They'll flip it off to Shannon. Shannon trying to get the outside. Will get a big hit. They'll gain 3 yards. And Shannon.
That reverse there. North has used that play about 3 or 4 times tonight. They have not had that much success with it, but they did get a few yards there, about 3 yards.
So they'll make it a 2nd and 7. Omaha North once again going out of the Wildcat and trying to knock on this doorstep of tying this one up. Little movement at the line. Williams can take it himself up the gut and it is stuffed. Tommy Connolly goes right through the gut and puts a big hit on Keyshawn Williams. And at most, it was a gain of 1.
Yeah, Tommy Connolly did a great job, saw the play, the way it was transitioning there up the middle, and he just kind of submarined right up the middle there to make the tackle. Good play by Tommy Connolly.
There's another 3rd down here for keeping this game close.
Look out for number 1 on the far side of the field for Omaha North.
Williams has been the guy all day. Fleer under center. He'll look to Williams. Little crossing route. He'll be able to make the catch, but will not be able to get to the 1st down. So decision time now for the Vikings. A 4th and 5 here, and I think it's a no-brainer to go for it.
Oh, yeah, their kicking game isn't very good. They go for the 2-point conversion on their kicks. So you know they're going to go for it here on 4th down out at the 33-yard line. So big play right here for the Westside defense to stop this Omaha North drive.
Omaha North 1 for 1 in the day in 4th down conversions. And head coach Larry Martin really likes his setup here. 4th and 5, Fleer under center, long pass. Williams pass Richard, able to make the play. For the 3rd time tonight, Isaac Richard is beat by Keyshawn Williams, and it's a touchdown for Omaha North.
They just lofted the ball all the way to the goal line, and he ran under it. A great execution there by Omaha North, and they're ready to tie this game up, possibly go for 2 again, down by 1 point, 21-20 here.
That's a big thing here for Omaha North. We talked about that lacking. Williams will come once again as the Wildcat. This will be big here down the stretch. Williams will take it himself, try to find an opening. And did he get in? They call it good. So Omaha North here with 6:29 left in the 3rd quarter has taken the lead 22-21. And Williams has been doing it all for the Vikings.
I'll tell you what, great drive there by Omaha North. They drove it right down the throat of the Warriors, and a big play again. And that's the 2nd time tonight that Omaha North has scored a touchdown off that play. But they just get into the end zone on the 2-point conversion. And now Omaha North is in the lead here midway through the 3rd quarter.
So with that play, Keyshawn Williams moves to over 100 yards receiving here tonight in just the 2.5 quarters we've seen here today. But Omaha North, we really thought, especially with how much they struggled up against Lincoln Southeast, it would be somewhat of a problem up against Westside, but they are really holding their own.
I'm surprised that Westside didn't have the safety over there to cover Williams on that play. Jaden, you and I knew where the ball was going to go on that play, and Westside didn't.
And a long line drive kick. A couple bounces will go to Dominic Rizak. Takes it at the 15, going up the middle, wide open hole, and he might be gone. Far sideline, Dominic Rizak trying to get to the end zone. Will they catch him? They will not. Dominic Rizak, 70 yards,
on the kick return, and Westside answers.
Recruit takes it all the way back for a touchdown. Jaden, it was shades of Avante Dickerson on that one. It looked like he goes all the way for the touchdown. Westside answers right back after Omaha North takes the lead, and now the Warriors are ahead 27-22, and they'll try for the extra point to go up by 6.
A funny stat to talk about with Avante Dickerson. Last year had 4 different kinds of touchdowns. Had a pick 6, a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, as well as a return touchdown. Today, Dominic Rizak has 2, a little bit of a 2-point conversion there. Colby Brown able to loft it up to number 41, Cade Reeser, the tight end.
For the extra point, they go for the 2-point conversion, which Omaha North has done after all of their touchdowns, and now it's a 7-point margin, and that's a huge play
for Dominic Rizak. It's blocking for a couple quick slant plays. You've never really seen these tight ends really this year, really any time that I've been here.
It surprised Omaha North, really. They weren't expecting that at all, and I don't think they were expecting the 2-point conversion when Westside came out to do it either, but a great play there by the Warriors on a 2-point conversion to go up by 7 here. Just a great comeback answer for the Warriors here to go back on top when Omaha North had taken a 1-point lead. Now the
big score to go into halftime. Omaha North strikes really early after a short drive from Westside to start it off, but then kick return for a touchdown.
For those of you that are watching this game at home, this is a real treat. Back and forth, back and forth. I talked to some people at halftime, and they go, I'm watching it.
And this has been exactly opposite of what we saw last year. Blowout after blowout after another blowout. I mean, Westside was just so dominant last year. The only game that we really saw that was so close was that Millard South game, and how well they've been able to do. However, they've left a team in Omaha North who is already 0-1 in the season, is not a top 10 team, has not been a top 10 team all season, and they're really close into this one. Does this say something? Does this show some kind of miscues for this team?
Well, North has taken the lead. Westside has answered and got the lead back. So you really like that when you're coaching a team like that. You want to see how they respond after adversity, and Westside's done that tonight.
But Tristan Alvano once again will kick this one away. 2 back for Omaha North. Long kick will go way out of the back of the end zone. And Alvano has been booting it around here tonight.
I tell you what, Tristan's got quite the leg. We know he's a good soccer player. He's a forward on the soccer team, but he has really booted the ball well tonight. And he's coming off a great game from last week when he kicked 3 field goals. And for a high school kicker to kick a 48-yarder, which he did against Creighton Prep, really shows you how good the Warriors special teams are this season.
Front would almost always go for it, but especially in a close matchup like that Front was really comfortable with letting Alvano do his thing. A big run here from Porter, and Omaha North answers back quickly with a 12-yard run.
Tell you what, Omaha North has found something there over that left side. They've had a lot of success running over the left side there, and also a few times up the middle tonight. But they're working it over there on that left side against this Warrior defense.
So we talked some another I formation setup, and they'll give it off to Porter once again. Kind of bounces around a little bit, gains about 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Omaha North, we'll see how they answer after Westside has taken the lead. Their lead was short-lived, just lasted on a kickoff, and now Westside has come back to take the lead. But Omaha North, their first drive of the second half was very good. They really pushed it up the middle and then had that touchdown pass.
So it'll be a 2nd and 9 here. Fleer will pitch it out to Porter, and he'll move up for about a gain of a yard, but Westside's defense able to pounce on it quickly. It'll be another 3rd down here for the Vikings.
Well, you know where Omaha North is going to on this play, just like they have. Wherever number 1 goes, you might want to double team him, because that has kept Omaha North in this game, are 2 long passes to their wide receiver.
That's been a thing we're going to see here. Isaac Richard, after being beat 3 times from Williams here in this first half. We're going to see Avery Donnellinger going up against Williams here. Fleer trying to roll out, trying to get to the outside. Will get to a first down, roll out of bounds. And Fleer, for the first time tonight, is showing off the legs.
Boy, he showed some speed there, just kind of raced around to the outside. The Warriors weren't quick enough to catch him, but that's a great run right there to keep
pounding on offense. Here today, 312 yards compared to Westside's only 136. Just overall passing-wise, just due to some of those big plays by Williams, 130 passing yards, just over 180 rushing yards. Comes in from the inner sideline and lays a big hit.
That was a huge play for this defense. No gain on that play. Omaha North had a lot of success tonight over the left side, but no gain there. Actually, a loss of a yard.
Too much against Lincoln Southeast was really just running the ball to the left side too much. They had really kind of collapsed on that left side of the ball, and Lincoln Southeast really knew what to do here. Omaha North quick up to the line. Terry, so they bring in the big man for a big catch. And it will be a shorter third down, be about a 3rd and 4.
We have not seen that play tonight, right over the middle. They knew what they wanted to do, and they executed it really well.
Terry lined up as 6'3", 245, works on the defensive line and as a tight end. And talks about just the size of this Omaha North team.
Oh.
A great defensive play right there, number 85. Call that again, a big tackle there behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up another big decision here for Omaha North.
That was a huge play. Omaha North only had about 3 yards to go for a first down, but the Westside defense comes up with a big loss there, and now it.
And although down 7 as we inch more towards the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter, Omaha North is going to punt it away. Low snap, Higgins. An odd punt there is going to go way out of bounds and only moves Westside 6 yards back.
Yeah, only about a 15-yard punt there. Westside's in great field position now with the ball at about the 35-yard line. And we'll see if this Warrior offense can
advantage of their defense and special teams. I mean, going forward, when you're going against a team like Papio South next week, Papio after that, a team like Millard North, this has not been a really good game offensively for the Warriors, but they've been really bailed out by their strong defense, really a good defense. Once again, switch directions, trying to get to the outer sideline. There's a flag on the field, might have been a hold.
Yeah, the back judge threw the flag on that play, and it looks like it'll go against Westside.
Rizak had a...
The officials are talking to Omaha North right now what they want to do. Take the penalty.
Still discussing here.
Number 3 red, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, it looked like holding on the play. 10-yard penalty puts the ball at the 35-yard line, and now it's 1st and 10 again.
Here's here, Brown under center with Rizak behind him. Motion from Bagayette. They'll hand it off to Rizak. Thumping through for a gain of 3 is Rizak there, but although this offensive line isn't the biggest comparatively to Omaha North, they've been doing their job and allowing Rizak to tumble through.
They're trying not to get Rizak any momentum there, any open area. They're really plugging up the middle, Omaha North, to try to stop Dominic Rizak tonight. They haven't had much success, but they're going to try here in the second half.
Westside will spread it out here. But Grand Guyette able to make the play. We thought that one might have been picked off. It looked like Williams is mad at himself for that one. He was charging on. He saw that play all the way. But it looks like it might have just went straight through his hands into Guyette's.
Yeah, he really anticipated the pass, and it looked like a pick six all the way. But he didn't make the play, and Guyette did, and now the Warriors have first down at the 46.
Westside quick to the line once again. Another passing play, little dump off. And number 82 able to get out to about the 44-yard line. That'll move the chains once again. Check that, it'll be number 32, Andrew Nielsen, the fullback, and Freund getting his entire offense involved.
That really caught Omaha North off guard. He was wide open on the play, and the Warriors got a first down now at the 38-yard line, and we've got a timeout on the field.
So Omaha North will take their first timeout of the second half. 46 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Whoa,
who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
Second and 1 here for the Warriors. Brown looking to see his setup here. 46 seconds left here to go in this third quarter. Westside leads 29-22. And only 4 seconds left sideline. Not sure what quite happened there.
Big question is you've got a timeout on the field. You take your team out there, and there's some confusion on what formation you're going to have out there, and now they have to burn it tight here in the second half. But the Warriors still have the ball at the 43-yard line. It's second down and short, and we'll see what happens.
So Westside here tonight, it's definitely not been the offensive parade that we really thought this second wanted. Definitely wasn't what Coach Freund wanted. And this night, the offensive, I don't want to say has surely struggled, but really hasn't been the same against Omaha North.
Well, they've made the plays when they needed to, and now Brown's going to go up from the shotgun and try to get that first down.
Motion here for Grant Guyette. A lot of time in the pocket here for Colby Brown. Long pass, and it'll be a pass interference call there. Number 3 on number 3, Travion Brown is going to get flagged.
Down and 1 to go for the first down. Yet the Warriors decide to throw the ball and go deep, and it pays off with a pass interference call.
And a big thing there as well, look how much time Colby Brown had in the pocket. We have not seen that a lot here today. The offensive line has been a thing again, has really struggled this year. A really young team, 2 sophomores on this offensive line, a junior and 2 seniors, but only 1 guy.
Play, and now the Warriors are back in business at the 22.
Colby Brown will give it off to Jamez Ross, able to throw off a defender, and will gain about 3 yards there. Jamez Ross.
And then he decides to just push the defender away, and he ends up getting about 5 or 6 yards on the play.
Westside quick to the line once again. Jamez Ross in. Wondering here if it had to do anything with Rezak. Don't see him on the table. But they'll let this third quarter clock timeout. So we'll head to the fourth quarter. Westside up 29-27 and heading near the red zone.
Westside in good position heading into the fourth quarter. They've got the ball deep in Omaha North territory with a 7-point lead. But the fourth quarter, it's big for Westside. Last week, the game was more or less put away against Creighton Prep. We'll see how they play here in the final quarter of the game with literally the football games for touchdowns, really caught the Warriors secondary off guard, and they've kept in this game with those two big pass plays, but running the ball. The North Vikings have really found success running the ball. Early in the game, they had a 73-yard touchdown run. We've got a good one here, folks, with 12 minutes left in the game, and the Warriors holding to.
I think for Westside, the biggest thing to see here is if the defense can really keep up with this Omaha North team. I mean, we've seen continually throughout the day, North has been able to make multiple drives. They've been able to convert consistently on third down. And after a really strong week up against Creighton Prep last week, it's been somewhat different here against the Vikings.
You know, you might look for a play here on 2nd down and 6. The Warriors, Coach Freund has come up with some big plays out of timeouts where he's really disguised what the Warriors do on offense and come up with like a pass to the tight end. They've really done some surprising things that have caught.
On a 2nd and 6. Another bunched up set near the far hash mark. Going to be a little screen out to Jamez Ross, trying to get open field, and he's open down into the end zone. Jamez Ross, 2 big plays. One moment he's getting one guy off, and the next moment he's getting in the end zone. But it looks like there was a flag on the play.
It was great execution by Westside on that play. They put a man in motion over to the near side of the field, and that's where they threw the screen pass. Had plenty of blocking, but it's going to bring this one back. Possibly, yes, it will. Penalty on the Warriors, and that'll take the ball out to the 15-yard line. A pretty play by the Warriors, though. That looked really good to throw to the running back out of the backfield, and looked like it was well executed, but a penalty.
And Omaha North will call a timeout. That leaves them with 1 here left in the 4th quarter, especially down 7. What is with that decision?
Well, I think there was a penalty downfield. It had to be, because that's where they marked it from about, probably about the 5-yard line, and took it back from there, the 10-yard penalty. So it happened downfield for the Warriors, probably. So the Warriors sitting down right now, 2nd down. And about 3 yards to go for a 1st down.
The question of the game right now. So far, nobody has answered so far on Twitter, but once again, Westside and Omaha North have played each other 3 times in the playoff. In those 3 years, in those 3 times, Westside would become the runner-up. 2 out of those 3 years, they would become the runner-up. Which one of those? Close. Very, very close.
Okay. Because I knew it was in the last 10 years.
It is. It is in the last 10 years. All 3 of these matchups have all been in within the last 17 years, have been in the 21st century. These 2 teams have not played in the playoffs anytime before that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Omaha North dominated high school football in Nebraska for a period there. They had a great run, and Larry Martin had some great teams. So I'll be interested. Are you trying to stump Ross all season long with some of these trivia questions?
Dunkin Trivia. And Colby Brown at the line. 2nd and 3, give it out to Jamez Ross. And he will be tripped up and taken behind the line. And they'll bring up a 3rd down. But once again, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter. First correct answer. I know people like Google. There's a way you can use if you need be.
All right, big play here for the Warriors.
So 3rd down here, bunched up set for Westside. Just over 11 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. Rizak moves out to the left.
In the end zone, and Grant Guyette once again puts his hands up in time, and it's another Westside touchdown.
Colby Brown looked at his receiver in the end zone and waved his hand to go to the corner, and Guyette just got that separation there from the defender and was able to catch the ball. Big play for the Warriors there to go up.
The big piece to this offense. Again, Colby Brown right there, able to give a little bootleg, able to give him a little bit more time, and a great play and great pass over to Grant Guyette.
It looked like a touchdown that they had earlier in the game at the end of the 1st half. Great play by there, great execution by the Warriors.
Will not go for 2. Tristan Alvano will come on for the PAT once again.
Low snap, good hold from Brown. And an easy kick there from Tristan Alvano. Alvano perfect on the night. But a big play, Colby Brown connecting to Grant Guyette, and Westside now leads 36-22.
Last week against Creighton Prep, that has continued this week against Omaha North. That is a hot combination. They communicate real well. They know where each other's going to be on the pass play. You can tell when Brown goes back to throw, he looks exactly to the spot he wants to throw Guyette there. And Guyette has had great hands this evening. He has made some great catches in the end.
For 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. And despite Dominic Rizak having 13 carries for 56 yards and a kick return touchdown, Guyette has been the big piece of this team. I mean, overall, he's going to a Division II school, in Minnesota State. There really could have been some bigger offers possibly being out there, but Guyette really felt it was good for him to go to Mankato.
We knew Westside was going to have a good running game coming into this season with Dominic Rizak, but I tell you what, this has been a good indicator of where this passing game is. Brown and Guyette have really, since the second half of the Creighton Prep game, they've really shown that they can make the big plays on offense. But just great communication between the two. The way that they work the pass patterns, and they know where to throw the ball. And in that last one, Brown just said, hey, go to the corner of the end zone. He waved him over there, get some separation from your defender. And that enabled them to get the
For Westside here today, only one other receiver, which is Carter Hogan than Grant Guyette, has had more than just one reception. So you'll see later on, maybe in this year, how different defenses might be able to make sure they try to double team Grant Guyette.
Been a great game tonight here, 11 minutes left. Now the Westside defense has to
stay out. They'll keep it there for Shannon. Shannon trying to get across the middle of the field, and he'll be stopped with 3 flags coming on the field. Shannon able to get out to about to the 19. We'll see what the flags are on the play.
Hey, but we got to see the kickoff team get some coverage there. This one was not a touchback, but they did a good job covering the kickoff returner. The ball goes out to the 20-yard line, and we'll see what the North offense can do this time.
Alvano, like we've talked about, has just had a boot all season long. The 48-yarder up against Prep. He's been consistent here tonight in all of his PATs. Penalty. We'll see what it's on. I didn't get who the penalty was on, but a face mask for Westside. Omaha North comes to the line quickly.
Good field position.
North, pitch out to Porter, trying to get to the outside, and is stuffed. 2 big hits, and the biggest one from number 11 is safety, Jackson McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre's had some big plays tonight. It was a loss of 2 on the play, so now it's 2nd and 12.
Another I formation for Omaha North. They've really just seen that in the Wildcat for them here tonight. Fleer trying to go out to the right, over to Keyshawn Williams. Short throw. Williams able to make the play and dance around, and just able to get to the first down. The chains will keep moving.
I tell you what, he's really caused some problems for that Westside secondary. He has 5 yards to catch the ball, and North keeps this drive alive.
Williams overall today even had a passing for 29 yards, but has really been a big piece of this offense overall. Porter able to run through a couple guys, able to get about a gain of 3.5. Jack Wimmer on the tackle.
Critical drive. This is almost a must-score drive for the Vikings.
Be a 2nd and 8 here for Omaha North. We'll see if they want to go to some kind of pass play here. Fleer will drop back. Will target Williams once again, double teamed, and still able to make the play. Keyshawn Williams with 2 defenders on him, over the shoulder.
2 defenders on Williams, and I tell you what, they really got it in there. Just a perfect pass. No way to stop that from happening.
Fleer today just under 150 passing yards, And his favorite target has 100% been Keyshawn Williams with 7 receptions here tonight. Another long pass near the end zone. Is it picked up? It is! We'll see what the call is, and it is. It'll be a touchdown. Avery Donnellinger. Avery Donnellinger able to come down with the ball up against Deshaun Higgins in the end zone. Higgins came back and tried to rip it open. There was confusion between the referees, but Donnellinger, they'll give it to him. It'll be another big defensive play, and the second
field about 5 yards, and some of the Omaha North players threw their helmets off in frustration about the call in the end zone. They thought they had a touchdown, and that's a huge play. For now, the Vikings are down by 14 points with 9.
On offense for the Warriors, we'll see Rizak once again after being out last drive. And Omaha North will call a timeout. What a huge defensive play by Avery Donnellinger. The interception will bring the ball back out to the 20. And when we come back, 9:12 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Westside looking to hold on to their lead. To go here in this fourth quarter. Westside able to take the ball back after a huge interception in the end zone from Avery Donnellinger. And here on first down, they'll give it out to Dominic Rizak. He'll tumble down for a gain of 5. And now it's desperation time for Omaha North's defense.
You know, the strategy kind of, but, you know, you want to run the ball as much as you can here and burn some clock with a 14-point lead, and that's what Coach Freund's trying to do.
We'll see a lot of Westside bringing down their play clock as far as possible. 13 seconds left here. Another setup here. Long blitz from the right side. Rizak. Maurice Sherrod able to put a huge hit on Rizak, but Rizak was in no way backing down on that one.
Great run there. Good collision out there about the 42-yard line. And the Warriors are back in business, and they're keeping that clock running.
So 1st and 10 here for Westside, once again trying to work the play clock as much as they can to burn this one out. Westside up by 14. And Grant Guyette with the motion over to the outer sideline. Little bootleg here once again for Brown, and pass is incomplete across the middle.
Surprisingly, they go with the pass play there. They've had a lot of success in the last 2 plays, running the ball, keeping that clock going. That's not what you want to do here and stop that clock with 8 minutes to go.
Another thing to take a look at here for Omaha North, they do not have a timeout left here in this fourth quarter. A lot of miscommunication, especially there in the third quarter, and a lot of different defensive setups. It is lined up head coach Larry Martin to really have to force his defense to get a stop very quickly.
Yeah, that could be a huge point late in the game with your team down by 14.
Rizak up the middle once again, will push down for a gain of about 5.5, and he'll bring up a 3rd down and somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, Westside just trying to keep this drive alive, run some of that clock with a 14-point lead. They've had good success running the ball here on this drive, and they're just trying to burn that clock and maybe push this ball as far downfield as they could go and hopefully get on the scoreboard again.
It'll be a 3rd and 4 here. Westside overall in this one has struggled on 3rd down conversions. Colby Brown will step back. Wide open receiver on the outer sideline. They'll bring it down and down into the 11-yard line. Cade Reeser once again, they get the tight end involved, and Omaha North doesn't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what, Westside really disguises those plays to the tight end. Are walking slowly down to the 10-yard line. They're getting tired here late in the 4th quarter.
2 big plays to Cade Reeser at the tight end position. We've also seen some fullback screens here. And Freund just really trying to find anything that to get this Omaha North defense off balance, and there'll be an early flag on that one.
Delay game, Westside, 5-yard penalty.
Delay of game for Westside, 5-yard penalty. Brings the ball out. Now it'll be 2nd down and 15.
So here at
1st down and 15.
So we're making a 1st and goal at the 15 for Westside. And again, they're really trying to burn that clock, burn a little bit too much clock on that one.
Yeah, just a little late getting the play in, little mistake there, but they've still got the.
And Colby Brown is taken off, and the ball is loose. Looked to be a strip sack there, but they're going to give it to Omaha Westside, excuse me. They're going to say Colby Brown was down by contact. It was seen that number 35, Seantre Brown, had jarred it loose. The officials are going to keep it to Westside.
Yeah, key play there. North just penetrated, got plenty of pressure on Colby Brown, and he wasn't able to elude the pass rush. And now Westside's in a big predicament, 2nd down and 24 to go.
Now a long 2nd and goal here. They're going to have to go for a pass. Going to go to Avery Donnellinger on the screen. He's going to be able to break a couple tackles. And they'll bring him back about 1.5 yards, so it'll make it a 3rd and goal at the 11.
And that clock keeps ticking away. Just 6 minutes left in this one. And the Warriors holding on to a 14-point lead and threatening here. The Warriors, you know, you look at that clock in the end zone and you grimace.
3 out wide for the Warriors. Colby Brown will step back. He'll have to bootleg out to the outside, throw to the end zone, and it goes out. Pass was intended for Grant Guyette. But once again, that stops the clock here. But a big field goal here would make it a 3-score ball game, and especially with 5:34 left to go here in this 4th quarter, and Omaha North with 0 timeouts. This might really put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, this is a huge field goal right now. Situation would have to be a 3-score if they get this for Omaha North to come back.
Alvano here to be a 29-yard field goal. And an early blitz there, and they'll give 5 more yards for Westside, as it seemed like Keyshawn Williams was trying to jump pretty quickly to block that one.
Yeah, if you're Omaha North, you got to try anything right now, because a field goal here really makes it tough to come back down by 17 points. So Tristan will try it again, this time a little closer from the 14-yard line.
Farthest field goal of the year was 48 yards, looking for a 24-yard one here. Good snap, good hold, and kick is through the uprights. So it'll make it a 3-score ball game here with 5:34 left to go here in this 4th quarter. And that very might well have wrapped it up for the Warriors. We'll be back here on WTV Live to wrap up this one here. back here with 5:35 left to go here in the fourth quarter. A huge field goal from Tristan Alvano to cap off the long drive for the Warriors' favorite three-score ball game.
Good coverage there on the kickoff by the Warriors. One of the few times that Omaha North has had an opportunity to get the ball on a kickoff return, but the Warriors stop them, and the Vikings will get the ball at about the 17-yard line with 5:27 to go. And I'll tell you what, Westside's in a good position with a 17-point lead, but the defense still has to stop them.
I think the big thing here is if Keyshawn Williams can get out in the open, or if Porter can try to see something in the running game, Coach Marvin's definitely going to have to look for a little bit more trickery in their offense. Wildcat option here. Williams going to take it himself, try to go up the middle, and he'll be stopped up at about the 18-yard line.
A little surprised by that play. You know, if you want to get back in the game, you got to put the ball in the air. And Omaha North decides to run the ball here. They make a lot of substitutions. Now it's 2nd and 8, so it's a big situation there that they got to throw the ball.
And for Omaha North, they've really only seen 2 receivers make some plays here tonight. Keyshawn Williams with 125 yards and a touchdown, as well as Travion Brown with 47 yards of his own. They're going to pass here out to Williams, able to get a great cutback route, and he'll be taken down. They'll give him forward advantage to about the 28-yard line.
And the Warriors were down to the end zone, and the Warriors did a good job just containing them there. They'll give up those short pass plays.
But even with Williams there, I mean, able to get that quick cutback route, able to allow that separation, both the cornerback that was on man coverage as well as the safety behind him. Another pass play here, long throw, double coverage, almost intercepted, but just goes barely out of the arms of it looks like number 23, Dominic Rizak.
Good defense by the Warriors. They just don't want to give up that big play on a pass. You got to protect your team. A lot of questions whether you do a prevent defense or not, but you got to contain number 1 for Omaha North.
A little bit of a crossing route over to Higgins. He'll try to get to the middle of the field. He'll be pushed down, but it'll be not enough for the first down. So it'll be another 3rd down here for the Vikings.
Warriors are okay with giving up those short pass plays. They just don't want to give up the long one. They're going to let Omaha North have those short passes. They're playing way back on the receivers, so they're give up those quick routes by Omaha North over the middle. And now it brings up a big 3rd down play here for Omaha North.
Surprised how slow Omaha North has been getting to the line. 3:44 left to go in this one. Down 3 scores. They need a big play here early. A little bit of dump off goes out of play. And Fleer had some rush coming on to him very quickly from the on the outer side.
And that brings up first down just to keep this drive alive. They're not going to kick it. They're going to go for it here with 3:32 left in this game.
Without a conversion here, this one would essentially be entirely wrapped up. Omaha North 2 for 2 on the day in 4th down conversions. 4th and 4, long pass will go way out of bounds. A lot of pressure going on Fleer, and it'll be a turnover on downs, and the ball will be back to the Warriors.
Good defense there by the Warriors. The receivers were not open. Quarterback just had to throw it up there, hoping for something to happen, maybe a pass interference call. But Westside gets the ball back here with 3:28 left, and they have great field position at about the 33-yard line of Omaha North. And right now, Westside just wants to run the ball and take as much clock as they can off because Omaha North can't stop it.
And this one overall is pretty much wrapped up here with 3:27 left to go, but a lot of time to bring in a couple more guys and bring in the depth here for Westside, especially the offensive line. Overall, the Warriors have been the biggest problem for this team. We'll see what Freund wants to do here. Be a flip out to Jamez Ross, so we tripped up. Be a gain, maybe about a half a yard to no gain. the clock keeps rolling here on this fourth quarter.
Yeah, you just want to keep moving the ball, running it. Clock is down to the last 5 seconds. You want to burn as much clock as you can, and we'll see if Colby will do that here.
Jamez Ross up the middle, cut back out to the outside. Shows a little bit of the elusiveness there. Gets close to the first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him. But it looks like he was taken out just short.
Now the coaches might talk to him after the game. Don't go out of bounds. Don't stop the clock. Just keep it inbounds. But the clock is stopped with 2:34 left because they ran out of bounds.
And especially here on this 3rd and 2 on the defensive line, they won't call anything. I formation here for the Warriors. Colby Brown pitch out to Jamez Ross. He tried to cut back into the middle of the field. Moves around a little bit. Really close to the first down. Will they give it to him? And they will. So another Westside first down, and they'll be able to really just wrap this one up here in this next drive.
Well, it was a good win for the Warriors tonight. You saw a little defense with the interception return for a touchdown. You saw Dominic Rizak make some big plays, scored the second touchdown for the Warriors. But I think the story of the game was Colby Brown and Guyette. They really connected. That touchdown at the end of the first half really turned the tide and gave the Warriors a 7-point lead going into the locker room at halftime.
They'll hand it off to Jamez Ross once again. Gets a big opening. They'll gain about 9 to 10 yards out of it.
Snap this one up. And I tell you, Jaden, this is a good win for the Warriors tonight.
Especially overall with how much the defense kind of struggled on the secondary, with Keyshawn Williams able to really break it open at points. It's been big here, and the offense is really showing its strides, especially like you were talking about, that connection between Grant Guyette and Colby Brown. Brown 167 passing yards tonight and 2 touchdowns, as Jamez Ross is stopped behind the line by number 34, Orlando.
Good punt returns, and of course a kickoff return. That doesn't happen very often, but a great return by Rizak. Really, that might have been the turning point in the game, because Omaha North had taken the lead, and then they came back and scored that touchdown to get it back.
And it really seemed like Omaha North was trying to make this one interesting, really trying to make it huge for Westside, and victory formation here for the Warriors. So with this, Westside will move on to 2-0 on this season. They'll play Papio South next week at Papio South. 39-22 win.
Great second half by the Warriors. Scored 18. Good win for the Warriors against this Viking team, and they're a good team. I mean, they may be 0-2, but they're a good team.
Yeah, this team overall for Omaha North, talk about the offensive ability here tonight. 387 yards. They had over 100 yards more than Westside did on offense here tonight, but it was really big in the part of Dominic Rizak.
Yeah, you look at the interception return, kind of set the tone for Westside's defense, and then the kickoff return. You know, it really helps from their special teams, the kicking game, defense, and of course that passing by Brown and Guyette was really critical in this game. And I think you got to go back to that touchdown right before the first half ended, and in the closing seconds with 6 seconds left on the clock, and they executed it in 3 seconds. That was just a perfect play.
And overall, I mean, we talked about that before. So much of this game has been that connection between Colby Brown and Grant Guyette. Overall, offensively for Westside, only Carter Hogue averaged 12.9 yards per reception, and that is huge for a guy that is really looking to be the wide receiver #1 for this team.
Yeah, a big step forward for Westside after last week's win over Creighton Prep. They really showed what they could do. And here come the Warriors over to the Westside student body, celebrating their second win of the season and thanking all the fans for coming out tonight in their first home game of the season. And the school song plays, and it's a great scene here at Phelps Stadium.
So we'll take a break here on WTV Live. Once again, Westside able to get a QB post-game show.
2022 player of the game in Grant Guyette, just under 100 yards receiving here today. Talk about the connection that you and Colby Brown have been able to have tonight.
You know, we've always had that connection. You know, he comes up, throws to me all the time, and so it's always there. And he just threw amazing balls today, and it's just how it worked.
So going up against an Omaha North team like this, you guys somewhat struggled in that first half. The offense quite wasn't able to get everything going in that second quarter. You guys were able to get somewhat of a better feeling with that quick touchdown at the end of the second quarter, excuse me. How were you guys able to connect overall for this team?
You know, we just kept working up front. Everyone started doing their jobs. And shout out to the line, you know, heck of a fight up front, and they gave time for Kobe to throw and made some good plays.
All right, so a big question here. You really have the top three with Westside, Bell West, and Millard South as well. How can you guys defend the state title?
You know, we just got to keep working and working towards it, you know, one game at a time. You know what I mean?
22 win, excuse me. We'll talk more here on this KB postgame show. Thank you so much, Grant.
Thank you.
So talking here with Ross overall, looking at these games so far, I mean, Westside able to get 2 early wins to start off this season. They're going up against Papio South next week. What do they need to do to continue this ways?
Well, I think they took a big step forward there in the passing game this week. It really connected, just as you talked with Guyette. Colby Brown and him really performed well tonight. They really have a communication between the two of them that enables them to make some big plays here, especially there at the end of the first half when they only had 6 seconds left, and they executed a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone and made it a 7-point lead there to go into the locker room at halftime. So the passing game took a big step. I think we also learned that Dominic Rizak is the Avante Dickerson of this season, and he can return the kickoffs just like Avante did in the past. And when you got that, that's just another facet, another element to this team that can help you win games when your special teams can score like that.
I think overall for this team, one thing to look at as well, 387 yards allowed on offense by Omaha North. Omaha North able to put up 387 yards. Again, especially after a big night up against Creighton Prep last week. Is this somewhat of a downfall defensively for the Warriors?
Yeah, I think if you had to look at one negative aspect of this game tonight, despite the win, the Warriors gave up some big pass plays. They had some communication breakdowns there in the secondary. They might have to relook at how they defend against some of those plays. The wide receiver for Omaha North, Williams, was wide open. He made some big plays, some big catches. So you might have to bring the safety in on some of those pass patterns to stop them. But that was probably the most negative thing of this victory today was the passing of Omaha North, which, you don't expect Omaha North to throw the ball that well, and that's what kept him in the game until the fourth quarter.
And Keyshawn Williams had a really big game, both rushing as well as receiving, was able to really open up those defensive errors, especially with a really young secondary. You talk about Isaac Richard, you talk about Teddy Rizak, both sophomores that had to take on huge roles in their first years on varsity. And going forward with this team, how can they readjust the secondary to be most comfortable?
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes. And they'll go back to the drawing board this week in practice, figure out some defensive formations to defend against those passes, because opposing teams are going to look at that. They're going to look at how the Omaha North scored their touchdowns, and it was on the pass plays there, and how Westside defended those pass plays. So you'll see a readjustment this week from the Warrior coaching staff, find ways that they can limit those mistakes. But that's one thing that they need to work on for this next week.
So going this next week, they're going up against Papio South, their second road game out of the first 3 games of the year. Papio South started off their year with a loss against Papio. Papio dominated that second half. Westside really came to life in that late second quarter, early third quarter. What does Westside need to do to continue this and really feel the most comfortable up against Papio South?
Just limit your mistakes. Westside is in a good position. They've got a quarterback who's got a good arm. There weren't too many breakdowns by the offense in this game. They had a strong running game, good passing game. The special teams, a lot of people don't think that means much in high school football, but it does. And tonight you saw that with the kickoff return, field goal, and you got to give some credit to the defense of Omaha Westside too, because that's how they scored their first touchdown of the game, was an interception by Conley, and that really got the game off to a good note for Westside to have the defense score on that 37-yard interception return. So you saw some good from the defense. You saw some good from the special teams. But the thing that really stood out to me was the passing game of Colby Brown and Guyette. They have found a combination there that's really going to be tough to stop because he's a good receiver, and Colby has been able to get him the ball. So it's a plus for Westside, and the only thing was the defensive secondary on those pass plays. Other than that, good win for Westside.
So before we wrap this one up, we're going to go back to the Dunkin Trivia Question.
Oh, gosh.
We're really close on this one. Really close on this one. 2015.
Oh.
1 year. Westside has played Omaha North both in 2006, 2015, as well as 2013. In 2006, Westside was able to beat Omaha North in the quarterfinals. They would go on to become the runner-up against Kearney. Then they would play Omaha North in 2013 in the state championship. Omaha North would be able to take that one. And then the quarterfinals, Omaha North in 2015 was able to take down Westside. So once again, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter. Every single game that we do will be on there. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me tonight was Raj Jernstrom. This has been a really fun opportunity for everybody. Everybody in the WTV live view has been wondrous to be able to get all you guys all these games every year. We're going to take this next week off. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Getting some volleyball action up against Matthew South, then some more football action right after that. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.
That's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
Whoa, who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.
Whoa, who's that? Coach, that's Warrior Gump.
That's Warrior Gump.